Hello, everyone. Welcome to the demo session on artificial intelligence and generative AI. So in today's demo session, we will do a practical demo on how artificial intelligence and generative AI is used for creating quick applications and then use it for our day-to-day life or business productivity and so on. All right, so today's demo session, we will not have any presentations. We will not have any, you know, anything which would waste time. We will directly get into the concept. Eventually, as we go deeper in the course, you will get more understanding about how the course is structured, what are we talking about, and different things and so on. Kindly stay till the end of the course, end of this session, so that I'll give you a brief about how the course is structured. What are we going to discuss in the course in the coming 2 months? So without wasting any time, let me quickly jump into today's demo. Today, I'm going to talk about a module called as Ulama, and we will try to spend half an hour, 45 minutes, and then trying to build a simple application using Olama, directly using the LLMs. Now, what are LLMs? LLMs are the large language models which are behind ChatGPT and other kind of tools like it. You might have been familiar with these LLMs, but if you have not, you could look at today's session. So I'll search Olama download. Once I say Olama download, depending upon your OS, whether it is Mac OS or Windows, you will get a website link, download Olama on Windows. So we get to the website olama.com. So if I click on this llama icon, you go to the direct olama.com icon, and it says start building with open models. So what are open models? There are open models and closed models. Open models means they are free. They have created open source models. People can use it for free. You don't have to spend money. But for running the models, you need to have a decent infrastructure. But you could run this if at all you have a decent machine. You will be able to run this models without any cost. What are closed models? Closed models are the models which are like OpenAI models, like the Gemini models, the Anthropic Claude models. All these models are closed models or frontier models. They are the ones which are very powerful, and there is a cost associated for using those models. Imagine you want to use them in one of your applications. You have to pay money for that. Right? So first things first, I will come to this website, olama.com, and then click on the download, or I can directly search Olama download, which will directly route it to this page. Once I'm here, depending upon your OS, whether it is Mac OS, you're running on Linux or Windows, you download the executable. I can directly click on this download for Windows, and then it will download the Olama executable. Now, once I click on the download and I download the executable, I run that executable and then install the Olama package on my machine. So what you have to do, I'm not doing that right now because the download takes a little time and then installation takes a little time. But you have to download the Olama package by clicking on this button, and then it downloads into your download folder. And then as like any other package, you have to execute it and it will get installed on your machine. Now, this is the package which will help us to access the open source models and run them on your machine. Now you can say like, okay, I have downloaded it. Now, how do I know whether it is working on my machine or not? There are a couple of checks. If you are on Windows machine, on the bottom right side of your machine, you have the notifications and all that information. There you will see a little icon, which is this llama icon. You see this llama icon. This is the llama icon. You see the same smaller version of this icon on the bottom right corner in the notifications tray with a little blue tick which says that it is running. If you are on Mac, it will be on the top right corner. Top right corner, you will see a little llama icon, the same icon with a blue tick. That will confirm that your Llama package is running on your machine. There is another way to confirm it. I will open the command line. So this is the command line. If I write Llama and you see this list of commands, then you can confirm that Llama is running on your machine. All right. What we are understanding that there is something called as Llama. I can go to the ollama.com. I can download its package. And then once I install that package on my machine, to confirm whether it is correctly running or not, I can just type Llama, and this is how it would look like. Now, once I have the package, now what I can do with this Llama package, I can go to this models. There is this tab called as models. I click on the models and it will show me a lot of models, recent models. There is MinMax 2.7. There is Nemotron model, IFM2 model, Nemotron 3 Super, Quen model. Quen is the model which is released by Alibaba. It's a Chinese model. It's Alibaba's large language model, open source large language model. Quen 3.5 is a general purpose model. Similarly, we have Quen 3 Coder. Quen 3 Coder next. It is the coding focused large language model by Alibaba, right? Likewise, there are a lot of models. If I can go down, you could also there is a Ministral 3, Quen 3 embedding, MinMax M 2.5, there's the Glem models, Quen Next models, Kiwi models, Gemini models will also be there. A lot of models are also there. Okay. So if I want to search the Gemini's Gemma model, I can say Gemma, Gemma 3 model. If you see, this is one of the popular model. Gemma 3 model released 3 months back, and these are all the types of the models in the Gemma 3. So by default, if I say Gemma 3, now how do I run the model? I can say Llama run and I give the name of the model name, Gemma 3 in this case. If I say this, then what it will do, it will run the Gemma 3 4 billion parameter model. 4 billion parameters means those many number of parameters are used for training this model, right? So Gemma 3 4 billion parameter, it will take 3.3 GB of space, and it is a text and an image model. You can also create images. You could do a lot of things with text, summarization, chat, coding assistant, and all that stuff you could do with it. And it will consume 3.3 GB of space on your RAM. All right. So far, so good. Are you guys following? Can I get a yes on the chat window? What we are trying to do, we understood about Llama. We are looking at some of the models. One of the model we looked at is the Gamma model. And then what we are doing is we will run this on our local now. I'll show you how quickly we can run this on our local and do a lot of things. But that's what we are doing. Now imagine you say that, Sitaram, my machine is not so powerful, then I can go with a smaller models. You could say like Gamma 3 1 billion parameter model, which is not bad enough. You can still use this. It will consume around 815 megabytes of space, and it is only a text-only model. You can't do images, but you can do a text-only model, and this is decent enough. So what I can do is I can just click on this little copy button to copy this entire name, because I can clear this off. I can clear this off and I say Olama run and then give the name Gemma 3 colon 1B. So when you do this, what happens is, for the first time, if you have not downloaded the Gemma 3 model, it will just download the Gemma 3 model and keep it on your machine. I have already downloaded this model. So if I run it, Olama run Gemma 3, it will take a second and tick commands. Just a second, it's loading. So it is loaded now. And if you see, it is asking like send a message. I can now send a message. I can say, who are you? No, I don't know what is Gemma, right? I am asking, who are you? Then it is giving like introduction about itself. It's saying I'm a large language model created by the Gemma team at Google DeepMind. So Gemma is a Google's open source model. It is saying that I'm a large language model. I am an open weights model, which means I'm publicly available for anyone to use and modify. Got it? So it is giving me a little information. I can follow up with another question. I can say that, what can you do? So I'm asking, what can you do? So it is saying that let me break it down. I can do a lot of things. So it is doing text generation. You can do, it can do a text manipulation and analysis, information retrieval, and knowledge. Other things I can do is I can do a code generation. I can do brainstorming, role playing, a lot of things. So I can do a lot of things. Uh, and whatever you're seeing, this star, this is called as a markdown script. It is a type of display in which you could see like there will be bullet points, there will be headings, subheadings, and all that stuff. So this is a markdown script. You see that means this will get highlighted, bolded, right? So and I'll show you like how a markdown output would look like, but this is in a command line interface. So the markdown output is now showing as this star. But basically you get it, like this is, if it is just a one single star, that means it's a bullet point. So these three are the bullet points: code generation, brainstorming, and role playing. These are the bullet points. The other ones are the other ones are highlights. All right. So now I can do a lot of things. I can ask it to write a code. I can ask it to tell a joke. Maybe I can say, can you tell me a joke for bunch of AI aspirants. So I'm just asking tell joke for a bunch of AI aspirants. Why did the AI cross the road to get to the other data stream? Okay. So it's I'm not sure you're able to get it, but it is giving a little nerdy joke, but it is able to write something. Okay. Um, and then it can also give code. You can also ask some code. Can you write a Python code on adding two numbers? Something like that. I'm just asking adding two numbers. Then it is, as you see, it's giving. So let me maximize it. So it gives the code. It is also giving the explanation and all that stuff. All right, this is running on my local. Now you could say that, Sitaram, this is ChatGPT only, right? What's the fun in it, right? Why do I need to do something on my local machine, or especially in a command line like this? Why do I need to do it? What I mean to say is, when companies mature enough, it becomes very essential for us to uh, use LLMs sparingly, and specifically if you are using any information which is proprietary enough, which is confidential enough, you cannot share it outside of your premises. Then it becomes very essential for us to build applications locally. And this kind of LLMs will help us to build those local LLMs. Now, I'm sure you might have heard about Anthropic Claude Coworks, Anthropic Claude Code. People are using it left, right, center. Now there is a big problem which is coming into the corporates is that the Claude Code bill is touching the ceiling. Now, we need to justify why somebody is using a Claude code and then creating a code application and spending millions, but the output is maybe in thousands, right? I hope you are understanding. If you're not understanding what I'm saying, please put a question, guys. Okay. You can also put like a personal chat also if you feel that okay, my question is superfluous or something. You can put a question on the personal chat also. But what I'm talking is the current state of the AI models, right? They are they are proprietary models. Anthropic has released multiple similar models. They are trying to bring every stock price down. IBM tanked 8% a few weeks back because Anthropic Claude Coworks said that it can also write and migrate COBOL applications, where COBOL is one of the most proprietary, very hard to do, coding, and very less skilled workforces there who are experts in COBOL. Now, if some AI application will come and code that, then it is very difficult. The same difficult stage is there for other companies, the service companies, likes of Infosys, TCS, Accenture, Wipro. They're also getting into a big problem. The reason is that now the AI models, I can create an agent which can code, which can do testing, which can do development, raise API request, push it to GitHub, then deploy it into a production. So all those things can be done by the agent, right? Now, what we are doing in this course is that we will learn how to do that, right? While I can say that we can do create all the agents, we can do all that agent will do my coding, but we are on the other side of the equation. So we are the ones who are making it to code. We are the ones who are creating those applications which will code or do any of the automations and so on. So as a part of it, in today's first session, we are quickly understanding. We spend around 15 minutes now. And in 15 minutes, we are able to see that I can launch an application, run it from my command line, and then use one of the LLMs to do some simple chat GPT like functionality, right? So far, so good. Can I get a yes?
Yes.
All right. So now you might have a question that, okay, this is in command line, right? So this is in a command line and, I have to open command line, write a code, and this is all jumbled up. Can we write a program to invoke this model, right? So is there a way in which we can write a program to invoke this model, and using that model we can then do something else, right? So that's the follow-up question. So let me show you. Just give me a second. So I'll open up a coding program, and it will not be so tough. So you might be saying, Sitaram, I don't know anything about Python. I don't know anything about ABCD language and other stuff. Don't worry, we'll go in detail, understand all those details in a very, very detailed manner. For now, I am using something called as Visual Studio Code. This is a code editor in which I can write code for programs. The language I'm using is Python. Even if you are familiar with any other programming language, it is okay. You will be able to understand this. Python is a very simple language. It is a very English-like language, so you will not face any difficulties. So I'm using Visual Studio Code and I have a code snippet. And what I'm trying to do is whatever we have done in the command line, I would like to replicate the same thing on the code. We will spend the next 15 minutes to try to code it in such a way that you can replicate the same thing in your coding.
How did you
And
go to this? Actually, sorry, I missed that part.
yeah, so you can open Visual Studio Code. I opened it in my other terminal. So the way you open it is you could say VS Code or Visual Studio Code, and then once you open it, you have my program is in a specific space drive. So I open the program. I
Okay.
can also show you the drive which I have. So this is the drive. I have the program open. So once I double click it, it basically opens in a Visual Studio Code. So just imagine that within your desktop, there is a folder and within that there is this program. And once I double click it, it opens it. All right.
Okay.
So I'm saying that there is a program. I'm showing you the program. And what this program will do is the coding way of accessing Olama. Okay, so with the code, I can access Olama. So first thing, I have to select a Python kernel. So Python, if I select the select kernel, to select a Python environment, there are a couple of environments which I have. I will select one of them. Maybe, I don't know why, 313. So 313 is the one I select. You see, I have 314 also. The latest Python, I think it is 314. There are different Python versions which I have, and then I've selected them now. So once I select a specific Python version, previously there were some yellow color lines here pointing to these libraries. That means that those libraries are not installed in the environment. Now in the Python 313 version, I already have these libraries installed. Now, how do I install a specific library? You could do something like pip install Olama. For example, I want to install Olama library, Gradio. If I want to install a Gradio library. If I do this, then what it will do is it will install the specific library on my Python version. Now, how do I install Python? All those things I will talk about in the coming sessions. But this is the first session. I'm assuming a lot of things, thinking that you already have a Python, you already have a little bit of knowledge about Python and so on. If you don't have the knowledge, don't worry. We will learn all these things in a great detail. But today's is the first session. I don't want to just say artificial intelligence means artificial and intelligence, and we spend half an hour just explaining the basic concepts. I wanted to deep dive and give you the maximum value of the time you guys are spending. So coming back to this program, there are some libraries we are importing. So there is a library called as Python display, which will help us to display the output in a Markdown script. Markdown script I showed you in this command line. As you see these stars and all, this is a Markdown script. Basically, what it does is it makes output in a bold letters, capital letters, italics, all that stuff. Nicely formatted text. And the display will help us to display the output in the Markdown script. And there are two other libraries I'm using. One is Olama. This is the library which will help me to connect to my local LLM model. The local LLM model, the Gemini model I have installed. I have few other models also. I can use one of them to do the to do the invocation. And the other library which I have is the Gradio library. This is a library which will help me to create a little UI. So by the end of today's session, you will be able to see I will create a chatbot or like a question answer system without any effort, right? Without much effort, I'll be able to create a simple chat GPT like a interface, and we will be able to use our local LLM for interacting with it, and you will be able to ask questions and do things. All right, so this is good. We have three libraries. They will help us to run our coding. So I click on going to start the kernel. What happened?
think that pip install Olama that is preventing.
No, 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 no. This is a comment
Comment,
on
is it?
comment on. So let me see. Let me restart it. Okay. You can go. Mm, I've selected a different kernel. Let me see. This will fail because I did not install pip install. So I'll open up another command line. The Python environment could have messed up. This is how real world works. I say Python. So Python 314. Okay, it is defaulted to 314. That I did recently only. So I was exploring with Anthropic Claude Code a week back, and which defaulted me to Python 314. Okay, now what I have to do is if I say, okay, let me show you Python. If I do Python 314 is selected. If I say import Olama, it will give this Olama module not found. Okay. If I select this Python 3.14.3 in my code, which I selected, and it will say that this is not available. Now what I can do, I can go and install it, come out of this, and then I say pip install Olama, and then radio. We just need three of them. And we'll see if it will complete. So it is installing the necessary ones. Apologies for a little delay. Ideally, it should have, because I have multiple Python versions, 3.13.4. This also should have worked. Somehow it is saying kernel failed to start. 3.14. Give me a second. Opening up other ones. Okay, so here I think it has installed all the libraries, and that's the reason this is working, but it says failed to log, unable to restart kernel. All right, I will show you what it will do so that you understand at least the code part while I'll not waste time here fixing the Jupyter bug. Is that okay, guys? I'll just show you guys what I'm trying to do so that you can get an understanding of what's happening. So once we have import the libraries, we will select a model. The model, the one which I was showing in the previous code, the same one you could select. I'm using the Gemma 3 1 billion parameter model, right? Gemma 3 1 billion parameter model will help us to um, access the Olama's Gemma 3 library, which is on my local. Now, how do I know which all models are available? I could just do a command line. If I say Olama list, if I say Olama list, then you could see all the models which I have in my local. Now, these are the models which I have in my local. If at all I want to install one of the latest model, I can go to models. Minmax is a cloud model. There are some normal models. I want to check the coder, Qwen3 coder model. Mm, if you see, okay, this is big model. So 52 gigabytes of model. I can't use it, bigger ones. So my machine is only having 16 gigs. I need a smaller version. Okay. Ministerial model is there. Ministerial model, you could see that I could use this ministerial model, and the default one is 6 GB. I can do a ministerial 3 GB model. I'm showing you how to install a local model. If I say Olama, then run, and then give the name. This model is not available with me so that it will pull the manifest. So it is saying you're attempting to pull the required and newest version. Okay, it also wants me to upgrade my Olama, but uh, this is how it looks like. So you have to run. If you have downloaded the latest one, if you run this, what happens? It pulls the manifest and it will get you the latest model. So here, that's how it works. I'm just listing Olama list, which will tell what are the models which are available with me. I will be using this model, the Gemma model, Gemma 3 1 billion parameter model I will be using, which is a very good model and it gives us the best result. So that's the one I am using. Whenever we have to use models using the LLM API route, in my chat GPT, I can just ask a question. I can say, you know, show me a recipe for biryani. If at all I ask this, then it will show me the entire recipe for biryani. But whenever I am using API route, I have to pass two informations. First one is called as system prompt, and the second one is called as the user prompt. System prompt is nothing but it gives instructions to the LLM, the large language model. In our case, it will be the Gemma LLM. It will tell that you are a helpful AI assistant. Very simple system prompt, but you can complicate this by providing a lot of information. You can say that you are only going to give information about travel, and you are a travel planner. You only give travel related information. You should give proper itinerary. You should provide the budget analysis. You need to give different informations about hotels, accommodations, activities, and so on. So you can write those rules in the system prompt, so that what the LLM will do is it will give the answers within the bounds of those rules. So that's where your system prompt will come into play. The next one is the user prompt. User prompt is the actual question you are asking. So here I am asking a question that I wish to travel to USA, create a travel plan for a duration of 2 weeks. Make sure I visit all the popular places in US, right? So I want this model to create a travel plan, and I want it to create like the entire itinerary of that plan. So this is the question, and this one is the rule. So system prompt and the user prompt. Now let us see, how do I invoke that model? I can say olama.chat model is equals to, you give the model name, which is our gamma model. And then I can give these two messages in one standard format. This is called as OpenAI standard. OpenAI standard, you give role as system, and the content will be the system prompt. Role user, content will be the user prompt. So this is a standard way in which you provide messages, because there are multiple LLMs. If there is no standardization, every LLM will come with its own way of providing questions, instructions, and um, you know, descriptions and all that stuff. So there is the standard format. This is the OpenAI standard format in which you pass the messages, and this is the standard in which it is used. So when I run this function, what this function is doing is it is calling the Olama's chat function. It is telling that I am using a gamma model, and these are the messages. Now, what are the messages? System prompt is, you are a helpful AI assistant, and user prompt is, I wish to travel to US and create a nice travel plan. To that, it will respond. It will call the LLM and then gets the response. And the response, I am now displaying it in a markdown script. As you see, this is a markdown script. This is the answer which we get from the LLM. I did not execute it, but if I would have executed, this is how it would look like. So this is the entire answer. And we are seeing that it is in the bold characters. As you see, this is the bold characters. You have bullet points. This is the markdown script. So it is creating a 14-day itinerary, and it is first taking us to New York, then Philadelphia, Washington, and then taking us to Chicago, Denver, Grand Canyon, and Las Vegas. I'm just hoping if it will take us to Las Vegas, but it doesn't look like it. Goes to Los Angeles and then push off. All right. So as you see, this is how it gives us the answer. Are you guys following? Any questions so far? So the same module, which is now we are writing as a code, and you once I execute the code, this is how it works. There is some kernel issue which I will fix it later. I don't want to waste the time on the session, but I'll fix it later. All right, so this is like I am using this program, and then I'm asking a question and it is answering me. But I want to make it even better. So for that, I can create a UI. So I can create a little UI which will um, help us to do this question answer system in a little UI. So for that, I have created a small function called as a shout function. What this function will do is, if at all I'm giving small text, it will make it into capital letters. For example, if I'm saying shout hello in small characters, it is responding in a capital hello. That's what it is trying to do. And yeah, I can't show you this. I'm not able to show you this because this is not running. So far, any questions? Because I will not be able to show what the UI would look like because it's. Let me try the Python environment one more time. IT using 38. This is the one, correct? I need to start kernel missing required injection. Give me a second. I have to run a Python package. Upgrading the Jupyter. Okay, so this is upgraded in 314. Anyway, apologies, guys. I should have done this before, but somehow it's not working. I'll fix it later. I'll show you what is the schedule of the how we do the course. So most of my course will be using this kind of a blue board or a blackboard, whatever you call. Most of the course would be like this. We would be starting the course with intro to AI, ML, Gen AI, and agentic AI. So we are in the first part of the course. We will be going through like how AI has evolved, what are the application areas, how do I build AI ML applications. When we will be getting into the understanding of Gen AI and agentic AI. So today, whatever session we are trying to do is more into this Gen AI part. What we understood is we used Olamam in few minutes and we were able to run it in local and running in using a program. That's what we were doing. Maybe in the next session, I'll go into great details about the program part. We also have few more details about how do we run it within the program. But that's what we will cover in the first few days of the course, where you will understand in more details about different AI/ML, what is AI/ML, how those things are different, the newer things coming into the Gen AI and agentic AI space. All those things we will understand in the first part of the course. Then we will get into Python for AI. Maybe many people, they might be new to Python. They might not be aware about Python packages, how to use Python, or they might be having experience in other programming languages. They might know Java or .NET or some other scripting language. Then this part of the course will help them to bridge between the other programming languages, other experiences, to how to do Python for AI. So we'll spend a week or two on understanding the language construct, how do we write programs for AI. All those things we will cover in this particular section. The third one, after we complete Python for AI, is we will do classical machine learning. So in this classical machine learning, we will learn about different machine learning algorithms which are currently used in the industry. Now, while the good thing about AI, Gen AI, all those things is that it's all cool, but at the moment it is not bringing a lot of business revenue. Maybe this year it will change. Eventually, it will get into from POC state to a product state. But eventually, the ones which are bringing revenue to the business are the machine learning applications. So, from an AI standpoint, we need to understand how those applications would work, what are the different algorithms, how those algorithms can be implemented. So, we will spend few weeks on this, the machine learning, classical machine learning applications. Once that is done, that's when we get into generative AI. We will deep dive into this. We'll spend most of the course on generative AI and agentic AI, where we will try to create applications using generative AI, usage of different LLMs, how we create coding agents, how do we create testing agents, how do you entirely automate an application using Gen AI applications and so on. So all those parts will be covered in this section. After this, we will get into agentic AI. Agentic AI is now very latest, where we are trying to use Gen AI as agents, and you could use those agents for automating a lot of our individual tasks. It can be used for productivity gain. It can be used for automating some of the manual tasks and connecting to third-party APIs, internal APIs, and do the tasks by its own. So we need to understand that. That will be covered in this section. And last but not the least, we will cover cloud and LLM ops. So we need to understand how these AI models are deployed into cloud. We will cover a couple of clouds. 3 clouds are there. So we'll cover AWS, Azure, and GCP. Now, these are not Azure sessions. We are not saying that I will cover the entire Azure. Azure itself will take the entire spectrum. But what we will cover in this section is if at all I have an AI model or an AI application, how do I use AWS cloud or an Azure cloud to deploy that? What are the pre-built applications which are available within AWS, Azure, like GCP? We have Vertex AI. In Azure, you have AI Foundry. So likewise, what are the tools which are available for me to do the generative AI, agentic AI applications? So these are the concepts which will be covered, and LLM ops will help us to do the productionalization of the model. It will help us to deploy the model into production, and it will identify all the nuts and bolts required for my model from a POC stage to a production stage. All those things will be covered in the LLM ops. So you could ask about the course. The course would be 2 months long, 2+ months it would be. THs. It will be 2 months long. Every day we will spend 45 minutes plus 10 to 15 minutes Q&A. So roughly you could take around 1 hour course content, roughly around 1 hour course content every day. When will this happen? I am in I am in India, so my time 7 a.m. IST. Now we will do a few demos this week. Next week we will do a few demos, but mostly the course would start from April, early April. So it will be happening at 7 a.m. IST. So if you are in US time zone, you can just identify what that time will be. But it would be my time, 7 a.m. IST to 8 a.m. IST. The course would start from the first week of April. There will be few demos from now till then, and then we will be identifying interested candidates who wish to join us, go with us. I would recommend you guys to attend few more demos so that you get a flavor of how what we are covering, how we are covering, and all that stuff. All right. Any other things which I wanted to mention? Yeah, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m., which would be the timing, my time. And that's about it. And you might ask like, okay, about me, I have close to 20 years of experience, over 20 years of experience, and I lead a large machine learning engineering group. I work full time, and this particular I'm associated with the organizers will help to do the trainings. In fact, I'm also interested in teaching. I have a great passion for teaching. That's the reason I do the training. Professionally, I have expertise in AI. I do a lot of sessions. I do go for conferences. I'm also in the Leaders Council for different AI groups, and I have a master's in BITS Pilani, and then I'm doing my doctorate currently. Hopeful to complete doctorate this year. And my doctorate thesis is also on AI and AI ethics. And whatever work I do will also help me in my doctorate research. So that's the reason I'm also um, doing this teaching, so that it will help me to gain more knowledge. You will know more about me in great detail as we go deeper in the course. But for now, that's what. So there's a question that are we covering the model deployments? We will cover ML flow as a part of classical machine learning. It will help us to understand how the models are deployed into production. We will do ML flow is already included. All right. So if you have any other questions, can you put that in the chat window? I will be able to answer them. What level of Python expertise is required? If you are familiar with any programming language, you will be good to start with it. Basic Python knowledge is required because I will not be covering what is a function, what is a class, what is object-oriented programming. So I expect that people are aware about the basics of Python. And since writing programs, what we will cover is the Python required for AI. Right? So if you are familiar with any other programming language, I have seen I have seen over many years that people get comfortable with Python because it is easy to learn language. So extent of Python usage. So because we will spend 2 months, the entire course is on Python. So you will get comfortable in doing projects. After we complete the course, you will be able to run projects. And again, it is dependent on person to person. Some people will have little slow paced learning. Some people will be fast paced learning. And depending on that, I will encourage people to spend some extra time doing special projects. Over the past of my courses, people who have already who are working, they have come up with their personal projects. And they are the ones which they are working in their office, which they are experimenting and all that stuff. So we have done during the course, we have done those projects. And as a part of this entire course, we will do 10 plus projects. We will do 10 plus live projects. And it is a project oriented course only. We will not have any presentation, theory, and those things. So I'll try to get into more code itself, more project itself, because if I spend 1 hour time, you need to get most of it from that. And the same is the case when you are spending 1 hour time, you need to get the maximum out of it. So that's the primary focus. We will try to do it project oriented learning rather than theory and other things, right? So that's the thought, guys. Any other questions? All right. If you don't have any questions, I think I wish you a very happy weekend. Thank you for joining the demo. We will conduct few more demos. I would recommend you guys to join the other ones as well. And we will go into deeper. I'll show you like how to run a UI in the next demo. We've just spent a 1 hour, so I think this is a good enough time. But as we come to the next demo, we will do more things. All right. Till then, take care and have a nice day and a nice weekend. Thank you very much.